Hello. You have most likely heard about Hitman. Perhaps you have also heard about the Death to Spies games. Some people call them the Russian Hitman games, or Slavic Hitman games. But most likely you have not heard about the Slater, which is a new Hitman-like game. I guess you could call it a budget Hitman, or a ghetto Hitman, because the name, the Slater, isn't really that easy to remember. The easiest way to describe the Slater is to call it a very limited first-person Hitman. All of the essential parts of Hitman is still there. You enter a new place, you wear a civilian suit, you have a target that you need to kill, the place that you need to break into have some kind of guard hierarchy where certain people are only allowed into certain places, and you can knock people out and take their clothes, and you need to get acquainted with the level to find key cards, passwords, or opportunities to take out your target. All of the core components of the Hitman games is in this game, and they work quite alright. The levels are quite nice looking, and the production values are surprisingly alright, considering the game's low price and small development team. With that being said, there is no doubt that this is a budget version of the Hitman or Death to Spies games. All of the core components might be in this game, but they are very limited. So for example, you only have one weapon. You have a silenced pistol. You don't have any tools or anything fun like that. Some levels are a bit more linear, and there are far less opportunities to do fun stuff in them. For instance, when I played through the game, I think I took out almost all of my targets in the end with a silenced pistol. And that is not something that you would do in either Hitman or the Death to Spies games. The combat is also very limited. You die when you get shot. You die when you get shot by a single bullet. So the combat is very quick, and if you try to fight against multiple opponents, then you will die in a second unless you try to cheese them by standing beside a door or anything like that. But the combat is not the core of the game, and if you try it, you will have a bad time. Furthermore, the game is quite short. It took me around 4 hours to complete it. Another nitpick that I have is that you can't save in the levels. It didn't have any impact on me, with the exception of one level where I screwed up at the end of the level and had to replay the entire thing. It may seem like I am sitting here and just talking about a bunch of negative things about this game. And to a certain degree I am, because it is a limited Hitman game. It is very limited, and if you buy this game expecting it to have the same level of content as you would find in Hitman or Death to Spies, you will be disappointed, because you won't find that in this game. What you will find is a limited version of Hitman and Death to Spies that is quite nicely executed. You have a couple of nice looking levels that are quite varied. They have managed somehow to, almost in every level, have quite loosely dressed women, which I approve of. And it has some charm to it. You're running around and dressing up to get into the room where your target is, and you get to shoot them in the back of the head. It's fun. I had fun with it. I paid, I think, 12 euros. I do not regret doing that. I think perhaps I would have expected a couple of more levels, considering its price. But it was still well worth my money, I think. If you have an interest in this genre, and you have already played the Hitman games and the Death to Spies games, then I see no reason not to recommend this game. Just be sure to manage your expectations Otherwise you will be disappointed.